And yes, we are live again. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me again on one of our sessions. Yeah, so wherever you're joining me from, I'd like to say good evening. It's evening where I am. So is it afternoon where you are? Is it morning where you are? Because I know that God watches from all parts of the world. Yeah. All right. So my name is Fumilola Akintola Williams. I'm a teams coach and mentor, and we've been working with teenagers for years now. And then by the grace of God, I run the Informed and Reformed Teens Academy. That's an academy for young people, but young girls now. Yes, we work with just girls. So if you have any girl from the age of 8 to 18, yes, there's a place for them at our academy. It's an online mentorship program where girls are being programmed, they're being helped, they're being shaped to becoming everything that God has designed for them to be. And this platform is just to talk about teenagers. So this platform, this YouTube session is about for parents of teenagers, guardians of teenagers, and everyone that loves teenagers. So it doesn't matter whether your teen is a girl or your teen is a boy. On this session, you get to learn something, at least one thing every day. All right, so if you know a teen parent, tell your teen parent to tell another teen parent to tell another teen parent that yes, 7 p.m. Nigerian time on every Saturday, we come together to talk about things to do to put our teenagers more out there, things to do to help them shape in their perspective, things to do to help them get better. And as we do that, now as the scripture says that iron sharpens iron. So do well to follow us on YouTube, like us, share, tell your friends about us. We're Streets Academy on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow us. We drop content that grows your teenager. And yes, we've been doing this for years. No, there's no capping. The way the young ones say, there's no capping about that. And then it is based on all of the experiences that we have had with teenagers over the years, working with them closely, mentoring them closely. It is from all of those experiences that I share with you, and also from my own learnings too, on my own journey, on my own processes, my own mistakes, my own errors, what I have seen, what I have done, what I could have done differently. So to ensure that our teams do not make the same mistakes or repeat the same errors, that's why we are here. So if you're part of the people that still say, what are they talking about? All this thing, the other, please don't. We are not your adversary, okay? My coach will say, we team mentors, team coaches, we are not the ones that we're not the ones you have a problem with. What you have problem with, right? That you should really be concerned about is the peer pressure, the peer influence, the social media, the phones you give to your kids, the iPads, the Androids, the iPhones. Those are things that are contending your children with you. We are just, here to partner with you, to work together with you, to ensure that your teen is that child and transitions to that adult, that's going to make his or her mark in the sand of time. Yeah, so that's what we do at the Informed and Reformed Teens Academy. We have a curriculum strictly for girls, yes. But if you have a boy and then you want him mentored, you want him coached, yes, definitely. I know amazing boy coaches that I could refer you to, yeah. So we'll go right in, we'll dive into what we're discussing today. I know I like to bring it in nuggets so that it doesn't become so verbose and so big, and then you're wondering, okay, where do I start from and all of that. And then today we're going to be talking about the 10 life principles. Yeah, we know, yeah, we know this life operates on principles. Principles. In the Christendom, they like to say that even if someone that is not a Christian operates a principle that is in the Bible, or someone that is not a Muslim operates a principle that is in the Quran, is going to have the same result. And if someone that claims to be either a Christian or a Muslim does not operate on any of those principles, is not going to have results. Yeah, that's just it. So life is about principles. Principles govern living. And then if you want your teenagers to be exceptional, you want them to really fly above board, yes, there are some principles that they have to go with. And then we're going to be talking about a bit of them. There are quite many, but these ones are from my learnings, from my teaching, experiences with teenagers. Thank you very much. Thank you for having blessing. I'm grateful. Good evening to you too. Thank you for joining me again. I do not take it for granted. Yeah. So 10 life laws to teach your teenagers. No, but 10 life principles rather. I was saying I was just thinking in my mind, should we call it law? Should we call it principles? But when people hear law, the natural thing that happens is that people want to kick against that. I'm gonna break that. Yeah. And that is why there are a lot of struggles with teenagers and their parents. You give them a law. This is when you should come home. They will not come. Yeah. So that's why I just toned it down. I said, okay, let's just work with principles instead of laws. But I could just be talking interchangeably. Yeah. Just know that I'm talking about one and the same thing. All right, thank you for joining me again. I do not take it for granted. And if you can hear me, please put in the comment section. And there's something that resonates with you, also type in the comment section. That lets me know that yes, I am not just talking to myself and I'm talking to somebody. And don't forget, as I like to say, if it's just one thing you want to run with, don't forget this is not about perfection. This is not about, this is just a journey into excellence. That is it. I said last week that excellence is what will now breed perfection. The more we do it, the better we become at it. So don't think this person is talking from place she knows it all. No, nobody knows it all, okay? We are all just trying to learn together and then work together with each other to ensure that this flood, okay, does not sweep our teenagers away. Because the fact remains that these are the people that we expect, to carry on with living after we're done and gone, and not just anyhow living, really real living, as in quality living. So that's why all hands have to be. Thank you very much. You can hear me loud and clear. Yippee, yeah. So that's why all hands have to be on deck, okay? And I always like to say that if you have a teenager already, as a matter of fact, your time is winding down, yeah? It's ticking. Yeah, if you have a toddler, in short, the time is all yours. But then even that toddler, before you know it, before you close and open your eyes, is all grown. So if you have a teenager, probably 13, 14, 15, 16, oh my God, you should be running as if, like people that 1,000 mopo they are chasing, because there's a lot you want to put into them. There's a lot you want to embed in them before you just, launch them out. They are meant to be launched out. God wants us to groom them, to raise them, and then launch them how to, do exploits for Him. Yeah. So the principles to teach your teens, the most important that I live by, and then if of course you'll have heard it over time too. It is the most important. I know that things have gone crazy. Some people tell you, but hey, let your teenagers know. So the number one principle you're going to tell them, you're going to teach out, not beating to them, not nagging to them, teach them, is the principle of the knowledge and the fear of God. That's number one. See, there are things that have happened, in the course of life, in the course of living, that the only option that has remained is and was and is God. So you have to. You don't. These days, everybody wants to be politically correct. The things they don't want to. They don't want to. If you can ask them, are you a Christian, or are you a Muslim or something? They are not sure. They just want to be there. They just want to be floating. Let them know there is no place for in between. As a matter of fact, it's dangerous to be in between, especially for the times that we are in now. So please teach them the principle of the knowledge and fear of God. And when I say fear, I don't mean fear of shivering, like hey, hey. No, I mean reverence. Reverence. Teach them the principle of the knowledge, because if they come to know God, they are going to revere Him. And when they revere Him, their parents, you can go sleep. Yes, because that is what will be their oasis. That is what will be their guiding compass as they navigate through life. So don't just assume. Don't assume that, oh, I take them to church, I take them to mosque. No, please, their parents, it is risky to assume that. When you assume that, you're not sure. Be sure that your teenager really knows and then fears the Lord. Yeah, that's your work. Introduce him to your God. Yes, let him see you depend on your God. Yes, that's how to teach. Let him see you depend on your God. Let him see you trust in your God. Let him see you depend, believe in your God. As you are doing all of those things, you know what you're doing? You are teaching him that principle without actually using your mouth to say, hey, come, I want to teach you about God. It just flows. It's just the way we're raising them. Those things that you're talking to them about, those things that you're teaching them, it becomes a part of them. So the moment they see you display confidence in God. I like to say it to my daughter, like she comes to me and say, Mommy, I want to buy something. So don't worry, God is gonna make provision. Even though somehow maybe the money is somewhere, but I don't just make it automatic and say, okay, we're gonna go buy. I let her know that there is someone somewhere that pilots and guides our affairs. And that's one thing. And over the time, once that thing happens, and then probably able to get that thing for that lady, for that teenager or that preteen or that child, God has made provision without you shouting. What are you doing? You are selling your faith. You are selling what you believe to your child. And you know what? It's becoming part of the child. He's internalizing it. He's seeing how you're relating. Yeah. So that's why when things happen, he's going to remember that there's a God that my mother does what? Call upon. There's a God that my father calls upon. And with that introduction, okay, he begins to be revering that God because he has seen that God come through for you. And that teenager begins to say, if this God has come through for my mother or has come through for my father, definitely it's going to come through for me. Please don't even be among the category of parents that say, oh, when they grow up, they will. No, what if they never? Don't find yourself in that category of parent that says things like we can't force. Nobody is saying force God down their throats. I watched a movie, a Monzal movie recently, recited no, not recently, recitation, yeah, and I was listening to some review, to some comment, okay, and somebody said they are choking God down our throat, and I just laughed. I said, oh, really? But people that are choking lesbianism down our throats without apologies, they are choking being gay into our throats. They are choking androgen. I was reading a book this morning, this evening before I started this class. It's talking about the androgynous, sucking all of that down our throat. They're not playing. So why are you going to have apologies for selling your God to your children? It's a life principle. Let me tell you why it's very important. It is for when they leave your home. It's not for now. It's not for now because now you are there, you are protecting, you are guiding, you are advising. But when they leave your home, that's when you know that, hey, did my child live with God? So, dear parents, it's a principle. The knowledge and the fear of God. Begin to enjoy. If you see, ask them if you're not sure. Teenagers are very dodgy. Yeah, they don't want to talk straight. They want to hide. They want to bend. Please don't assume this with them. Have the conversation with them. If you have not, okay, it's fine. It's better late than never. If you have not, introduce them. Have you had a conversation? Do you have a relationship with God? Do you even know this God? Do you believe him? What are your thoughts on him? Because see, if you just leave all these things for assumption, God forbid that those kids will back from school and I say, mom, what, dad and mom, I don't believe in this God crap. Yeah, God forbid that the day comes. So don't assume. So it's a principle. The fear of the knowledge and fear of God, it has to be there. When your teenagers knows and fear the Lord, there are some things you don't have to stress about. There's some things you don't have to shout about. God was talking about Abraham in the Bible. He said he's very confident about Abraham because he knows that Abraham is going to do what? Abraham is going to bring up his kids after the Lord. I mean, God had that kind of level of confidence in Abraham. So can God have that confidence about me too? Can God have that confidence about you too? That you're not just gonna be like, they will make that they will make. It's a choice for God. And it's deliberate, intentional, systemic. How you live your life, how you trust on that God, how you depend on him, the relationship you also have with him. They are watching all of those things. Such that even when you can be sure that I have done what, don't forget, this is about doing your bit. So I have done my bit. Then you now begin to do what? Begin to water it. Water it. You begin to water it. So please, dear parent of teenagers, do not assume for once that, see, what is coming, okay, it's going to get to a stage that people young people especially, they're going to be so pressurized into not speaking up about what they believe. Yeah, in the Western world is happening already, and it's just a matter of time. It's going to spread everywhere. So what's going to happen? Your child leaves the house and then goes to is in a particular a situation, okay? Yeah, a situation, and then she's able to like everybody's saying, okay, let's go do this, let's go do that. What will be the restraining force? What's going to restrain your child from doing that evil? It is the God factor. I know that yes, you have skilled up the child, you have skilled up, but don't forget that, see, even if as you are planting, and this one is what, if God does not bring the increase, everything is just play, just the way they will say it. So, dear parents, do not assume. So it's a principle that by the time your teenager they're leaving your home, they must be armed, like thoroughly and thoroughly harmed with the God factor. Is very, very important. So it's a life principle, the knowledge and the fear of God. And I told you that fear of God alone will be a restraining force. They'll remember, just like Joseph said, I can't do this kind of thing and sin against my God. So they're gonna see it even beyond your family values, your family what you believe and all of that. They're gonna see it beyond that. They're gonna see to the realm of, what does God say? Yeah. So this is what you must seek to achieve in your teenagers before they leave your home. The principle of the knowledge and fear of God. And dear parents, if you can begin to work on this thing actively, your shout will be less. It's going to be less. I don't mean to say that, oh, then everything is going to be is going to be smooth sailing. No, I'm just saying that there's a background already. There's a foundation already, and I just begin to build upon it gradually. So that's that about that. Another life principle that you want to teach your teenagers before they leave your home: the principle of honor. 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 See, honor. This we had a. Let me not even start. This issue of honor is a old currency, higher than pounds, higher than dollars, higher than naira, higher than whatever currency of the world. It is literally a currency. Teach your teenagers how to honor. Teach them. Let it start from the home. Teach them how to give honor to you, how to give honor to themselves, how to give honor to the people in their lives. Is a principle, because you know what? There are some doors that will open unto them by virtue of just honoring people. I've enjoyed that grace. I have enjoyed it. By virtue of just honoring people, some doors will open to your teenagers. Please, can we begin to this current trend of it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. Can we begin to water it down? Can we begin to teach our teenagers that honor is a big deal? It starts from the way they talk to you. It starts from the way they talk to themselves and about themselves. It starts from the way they even serve you food. For example, you tell your teenager, you say, please give me food, and then you just put the food and you say, mommy is there. No, no, that's totally unacceptable. Because if he does that to somebody or other people outside, there will be repercussion for it. For dishonor, yes. Of course, you know that people have gotten laid off their jobs because of their approach and all of that. So please, a very, very key principle. I know what? Nobody will teach them this in school. Nobody. So it is your job before they leave your home. Let them understand. Let them understand that every man, and it doesn't matter whether he's rich, whether he's poor, no. From even the way they talk to the house, if you have people that help you around the house, the way they talk to the attendant, to the fuel attendant, to the kitchen, to the restaurant attendant, honor. Treat people with honor is very key. This is a principle they must leave your home with. You know why? See, the kind of doors that will open to them, the kind of opportunities that they're going to have by virtue of the fact that they're able to just give honor to whom it is due. It will take them far. See, if you want high flyers, the way my coach will say it, if you want high flyers, please teach them the principle of honor. Teach them how to revere. They are teachers in school. Some parents, they how's it called now? They join hands with their students, with their children to fight their teachers. That's dangerous. Someone teaching your child, someone impacting to your child, and then you are teaching your child to disregard the person. So please, can we begin to change the narrative today? Can you let your children know that with honor, honor is access. As a matter of fact, I like to put it that way. Honor is access. Honor is the key. Can we begin to teach our teenagers? Can you not let your if you have people helping you in the house, can you not let your teenagers talk to them anyhow? Can you let your teenagers not disrespect them because they're working with you? People that are working with you, people that are assisting you. Can you teach your teenagers how to talk to them with respect, with regard, regardless of whatever it is that they are doing, whatever it is that their status is in life? Honor. Honor is a principle, is a life principle that will literally open doors for them, that will literally make men to fall upon themselves to do them good. Honor, the principle of honor, it is very, very important. So, as a matter of fact, what I did in my home, we had it as a class. Yeah, it was that serious. How to talk to people, how to talk, how to behave to even it starts from you. Don't allow disrespect on your person. If they are wrong, insist on an apology. And at a minute, if they have treated their sibling disrespectfully, insist on an apology and they must mean it. These things, when they leave your home, it's going to reflect. It's going to reflect in how they will handle things. And how they handle things, it's going to now reflect on, okay, how was this child raised? How was this child raised? Don't raise teenagers that are so disrespectful, are so they have little value for people, for things, anyhow kind of person. Let me put it that way. Don't raise such teenagers. So, principle of honor is very important. Another principle that you must teach them is a principle of relationship. If there's anything I've enjoyed in recent months, is the relationships that I've been able to build. Relationship is a principle. These days, the new gold is relationship. Just the way honor is access, relationship is a lifter. There are some things there are some struggles your teenagers will never have to have in life by virtue of the kind of relationship that they have been able to build. The principle of relationship is very core, is very important. Please, dear parents, begin from now. Let them begin to have their tribe from now. It can't be overemphasized. The principle of relationship is very important. So that they do what they grow together. So that they grow together. That now takes you back to your family values. So that when they are picking friends, they're not just picking friends. They're not just picking friends anyhow. They are picking friends with what? With longevity in mind. Picking friends that, okay, this is where we're going. So that they can pick friends that believe in the same things that they believe in. Relationship. So that when one, lifts the other person bears him up. It's easy for them. It's scriptural. Relationship. The principle of relation is very, very important. Some of us, we feel, it sounded like a joke, but it wasn't a joke. I saw it somewhere or something. The person said, check through all your contacts, all those contacts that you have. How many of them, if things really get tight, I don't even mean financially now. You need a hand, you need a help, you need courage, you need support, you need encouragement. How many can you get? So it's a life principle. As a matter of fact, I have learned that people, deliberately build relationships so much so that it becomes what your children can inherit as a legacy. It is that serious. It is that serious. So, dear parents, please, this is a principle that you must let your teenagers know so that they will not just go and make friends with just any person that is on a journey to nowhere. Someone that's not going anywhere, so that they know that they are precious, they have value, and then as such, it must be people like them that they must flock together with. So that why? It's not pride, it's not, no, it is just preservation. We're still gonna talk about it somewhere down it's preservation. It's a way to quickly rise. Actually, it's there in the Bible that a companion of fools, they will be destroyed. You don't want your child destroyed. You don't want to be there. So let them know. And don't, I have told us, teenagers are funny, they're weird. Don't think, oh, she will just go and pick one sensible person. You'll be shocked. Don't let these teenagers shock you. And that is why, as a teen parent, you got to be proactive. You think ahead. So you sit them down. You let them understand the importance of relationships. I see your worth in the next 5. I used to tell my teenagers, I said, see, you will be exactly the same way you are in the next 5 years, except for the people you keep and the books you read. I tell them that, and it is it is just, that's just what it is. So let them know that they can't afford. Why? Because there is no time to waste. There are things to do, there are targets to be met, and there's a time frame for it. So they have to understand. So they are living your own with a mind that, okay, if I'm going to be building relationships, it has to be relationship that will now be like a network, like an asset. It's a principle. Go and check it. Check. Let's now go secular now. People that go to clubs, I don't mean dancing club, no. I mean men that have clubs, Lion Art, Rotary this, Rotary that. What do you think they do there? They network there. They network for growth, for progress. And you'll be shocked. Most of them have had that relationship for the past 30 years. How many of us can boast of that? Do we nurture relationships? Or once you meet somebody and then you feel that the person has served the purpose and then you just ditch the person. Nurture, teach them to nurture relationships. Teach them to nurture it. Because why? They're going to be needing it as they progress in life, as they grow. I have had relationship of over 20 years as I am. And those relationships today, I still leverage on them. I have had ones I've just started building. And I know that it's going to be there for a long, 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 long time. Because why? I have come to understand that relationship is very, very key. The principle of relationship. Begin to teach your teenagers these things. Teach them. Let them know that they can't afford. They can't, it's so expensive, they can't afford it. To just be with anybody, just do as everybody is doing. They can't afford it. Why? Because the time is coming when what they will need to move over to the next phase is the relationship that they have had. Build relationship, nurture relationships. And how do they learn? They learn it from you. Let them see you treasure your friends. Don't let them see you bad mouth your friends. Don't let them see you talk bad about your friends. You call them friends, you talk bad about, you talk ill about them. They are watching. Let them see you nurture the relationship let them see you being there for people. Let them see you supporting people. Those are the ways to communicate this principle to them. Because they learn that life is not lived in isolation. All right, we'll go on because of our time. So the next principle you want to teach them is the principle of community. This is very, very important. Community. See, this thing of I don't want them to know, I don't want them to it will not help anybody. Except you're just raising, I would like to say it, except you're just raising your child for your house, for your duplex, your mansion. But if you're raising your child for the global community, please, she has to be in a community. Community. You learn there, you grow there, you get strength there. You have to teach us. It's a principle. How do you do that? Begin to deliberately look for groups to put them. Yes. You can start from the school club. And this is where mentorship comes in. Because your child is not the only one in that place. It is a strategic thing. It is strategy. It's not because you have so much money to waste. No. It's strategy. Community. There's such a thing as communal intelligence. There is such a thing as communal intelligence. So it's a principle. Go and check all these people that we look up to. They have their clique, they have their community. They do. We just do not. They won't tell you. They're not going to tell you. Like I said the other time, some people are raising their kids to take over from them. Even as at now, what are we doing, dear parents? What are we doing? The principle of community is very important. Begin to let them know. Put them in place. Put them in among their peers like that. Okay. Put them in clubs, book clubs, mentorship academy, training programs. Put them there. Is that's what they call community. They will learn together. They will share together. They will grow together. Exchange experiences together. And from there, you never can tell the kind of I have built solid, tangible relationship from communities that's going to last me for the rest of my life. I can just tell you that for free. I have people that I met in communities that I know that will be doing life forever. If I wasn't in that community, I'm never going to have that opportunity. So don't all these things, tell them, don't make friends, don't this. I don't understand where it's coming from. How far can only them go? How far? But they need community of like-minded people to fly. So begin to don't say my child does not mix. Why would your child not mix? I don't understand. The danger is this. See, if you're isolating that child, you don't know that you're making it's already been a target. Yeah, a target for vices. Yeah, because go and check it. People that go into all sort of things are people that are most of oftentimes they're isolated. So they want affection, they want acceptance, they want this, they want that. But if you have strategically placed your team in that community, if I ask us now, I've been shouting mentorship, mentorship, mentorship. How many of us have taken that bold step? It's a step, and we have to take it, whether we like it or not. I know that it also makes their teenage, it makes it easier. So they're not the only one. They're not just like a lone fish, okay? They're not the only one trying to struggle to remain pure, trying to struggle to not do drugs, trying to struggle to focus. No, there are other things like them. So what do? They encourage each other. They support each other. That is what community is for. And that's how they begin to build on it. So when they transition into adulthood, they look for other communities too, for help, for strength, for support. That is what it is meant for. It's not for I don't know. So we have to go and jettison these things I will think about. Put them there. That is, as a matter of fact, that's where you should put the money. Yeah. Invest in those things for teenagers. All these small things you would not know, but you're programming them. You're programming them for success. You're programming them for life. So they will even worry you less. The principle of community is very important. So begin to think. If you have not thought of it, please, dear parents, don't sleep on these things. Don't think, oh, she's just talking. I do these things. The next principle that you have to teach your teenager is the principle of perspective. The principle of perspective. Perspective is key. They have to understand that there are a lot of perspectives to things. They are not the only one. Do you know what this teaches? It teaches them compassion. They're able to understand. Have you met people that there's nothing you say? Once they say something, it is their way or the highway. Of course, some of us have met people like that. The only perspective is their own. But we know that life does not work like that. The principle of perspective. They have to learn it from your home. Not that they will not be arguing. I mean, they will not be having an argument with their siblings or their friends, and because they are not able to agree, and then they just go all offensive, all angry. Come on, perspective. Perspective. They have to know that. See, yours is not the only perspective. Do you know how this is going to help them? Let me tell you. When they now have issues, because of course, I hope that we're not kidding ourselves that issues of life are coming for our teenagers. If it's not coming when they're teenage, it will come when they're adults. And it is not when you get to war that you're going to prepare for the war. You'll have prepared long before you get to the war. So the thing that perspective will do for them is, if they are used already, if they are used to it, okay, they are used to in listening to contrary opinions, different opinions. If they are used to that right time, when they have issues, they want to listen to perspectives. Oh, let me see what this person has to say. It's a principle for growth. Because you know what? You are not all encompassing. It's there in the scriptures that in the multitude of counsel, there is what? There is safety. So it can interchange that to me in the multitude of perspective. And don't forget, you have owned their skills, okay? So they're not just looking for every Tom, Dick, and Eric kind of perspective. No, they're looking for worthy perspective. So they know. And they're able to sift and be like, okay, if Okay, I think if I do it this way, okay, or if I do it that way, or okay, or maybe my way after all, so that they're not, they're not in a fix. The principle of person. So you have to make them know. So if you have a child that never wants to listen to anybody except himself, you have to look for a way to make him understand that, hey, it doesn't revolve around just you. Because see, if you don't watch that, if you don't deliberately put that in them, they're gonna go into the world thinking that everything is not about them. And then what happens when they say contrary opinion? And then that contrary opinion is coming from their boss. How are they gonna handle it? You think of it, their parents. So it's a principle of life. It prepares them, okay, for broadness, for their heart to be broad, for their thinking to be broader. Okay, it's not such about me. It's just not about only me. There's such a thing as another person's perspective. There's such a thing as another person's opinion. There's such a thing as hearing the other person out. So you don't just go about thinking it's just what I think, it's just what I know, and then that is it. Opinionated is a it's a principle of perspective. So these are things you need to teach your teenagers. They're not going to teach them in schools, no. But these are things, as a matter of fact, the things that they teach them in school is just for them to get certification. The things they need to navigate in life are not the things that have been taught in school. That's why, without trying to underestimate schools, there's more to schools. There's more to maths, there's more to life than maths, there's more to life than English, there's more to life than all of those things. So we've talked about like 5. We said the principle of the knowledge and fear of God is going to be the restraining force for them not to go into evil. We talked of the principle of honor, the principle of relationship. Begin to build that community from now. If you have not started, begin. Let them build valuable relationships. I have had relationships that relationship. It's a door opener. There are people that I know that because I know them, there are some things I can have access to without stressing. That is what relationship does for you. Of course, I know you understand what I'm trying to say. So, relationship. We talk about community, the principle of community. Put them in community, put them in club, put them in groups where they will co-learn, co-know, co-mistake, and co-correct the mistake. Don't isolate your teenager. Don't say, don't have friends. Don't no. Teenagers work in parks. I've known that for more than 7 years now. They don't like to be alone. They don't. Community. So what do? You now open your eyes and look at, okay, where can my teen learn? And then you put him there in a learning system, in an accountability system. You put him there. He will grow. You'll be shocked. He might resist at first, but very soon he will start looking up to it. I mean, looking forward to it rather. I remember when I registered my daughter for the girls' hub. She was like, "Oh, mommy, yeah, you're not reading, yeah." But she started, now, okay. When is the time for their meeting? Mommy, can I have your phone? She's ready. Why? Because she see other girls like her. So they're going to know that they're not the only ones. There are other people. I like to call them the set apart ones. They're not the only ones we're trying to say, do this, do this, do this, do this. So they share strength together. They share their worries. And as they grow, you'll be shocked at the kind of bond that they can forge. Community, perspective. Another principle you have to let them know. The principle of choices and consequences. See, this is very important, okay? This is very, very important. Principle of choices and consequences. Of course, we have been here enough to know that for every choice, there's a consequence. But these kids don't know that yet. They think that, oh, life will just forgive you. It's a lie. So let them know that for every choice, there's a consequence. Every choice, every and any choice, there's a consequence. Please let them know. Let them have that understanding. So that they know that, as you're winging your way through life, just know that whatever you do, whatever choices you make, yes, God is all forgiving, blah, blah, yes. But there is a consequence for the action. The principle of choices and consequence. Let your teenagers know these things. Let them know. We're telling you now. Just know. I like to use the story that my coach used. She said she told her teenage daughter, say, you know what? Don't go and be thinking for once, okay? that if you get pregnant, I will now leave this church for you. I'm not saying that you're having premarital sex. I'm just telling you that don't go and be thinking that you will still come to this church and be carrying the baby till you give birth to the baby. Yes, you will nurse the baby, win the baby off you, then you will now go to school. And if you think you want to go the other way around, you want to go and do something to remove the baby, the consequence is waiting for you. I may not know, but someone is a consequence. That was just a joke, and but the message has been passed. You don't read your books, you fail. You fail, you repeat the class. Sit again, learn it again. You are disrespectful, you lose opportunities. Let them know. Choices and consequences. You dishonor people, you lose opportunities. Let them know. You don't grow your mind, then you're subservient to someone that is growing his mind. Let them know these things. I say it to my daughter, I say, don't feed your pleasure now. No, feed your mind first. Then your mind will feed your pleasure. That's what I tell her. She's just hate. Don't feed pleasure. Feed your mind. That mind will now feed that pleasure later on. Let them know these things. Choices, for every choice. Some of us were there already. The choices that we made that we wish that we didn't make. Even though we regretted the choices, even though we're sorry, even though, but did that preclude the consequence from coming? No. So you're not saying it to scare them. You're just saying it for them to be aware, for them to know. You're not even trying to scare them or anything. Choices, consequences. You go to school, you mix with the wrong crowd, you get expelled. Simple. You get expelled, you look for admission again by yourself. I would not go and be looking for admission again for you. Choices, consequences. See, these things, it might be harsh, but it's what I call tough love. Because they are able to process it to a certain extent. So it will not be as though, my parents are wicked, they didn't tell me. Our Yoruba will say that what an adult sees while he's sitting down, even when a young person climbs a tree, he won't say it. So that's consequence of the action. You already know it. So you can as well tell him so that when it happens, okay, so we take it from there. You make a mistake, you learn from it until you move to the next level. Choices, consequences. Choices, consequences. Or you want to feed your mind now, you go fast, whatever you have to do it, and then you just keep moving. Let them know these things. Don't let them think that life will overlook or life will just let it slide. It won't let it slide. Of course, some of us, we know that. It won't let it slide. Even though you really wished that, things were different. But this is it. This is the reality, so you deal with it. It's a principle. So that they don't grow up feeling that they can do anything, everything, and get away with it. You can't do anything and everything and get away with it. Life is coming. Teach them these things. Another thing we'll talk about is the principle of resilience and tenacity. Resilience, tenacity. Mental strength. It's hard, but it's doable. They won't give up. Things will happen. Situations will come. Not what they expect. But nobody's going to say, I'm done here. You're only done, okay? You're only out when you're done. You're only out when you're done. So until you're done, you keep doing it. I know it's hard. It's easy. It's easier, actually. It's easier to give up. It's easier to throw in the towel. It's easier to say, you know what, I've done my best. But you keep moving. There are some of us, there are days that we have felt like not getting up from our bed. But you still stand up and do what has to be done. The principle of resilience and tenacity. Teenagers have to be taught. So that when they don't feel like going for that course, they know that they just have to do it. When they feel like they don't want to, I'm tired, I don't want to, still do it. Resilience. There's a place in the scripture, they say that in the days of trouble, if your strength now fails you, that means when issues happen and then you cave in, that your strength is small. It may not be fair. That means that we have to build the strength of our teenagers, their mental strength. So that they won't say, oh, it's because they keep pressuring me and everybody is doing it. Me too, and I felt I didn't have a choice. There's always a choice to walk away. That's the strength we're talking about. That's the tenacity we're talking about. That's the resilience we're talking about. So they won't say, oh, it's because I'm the only one left that is not, and then you just follow them. No. Mental strength. We have to build it. And you know what? See, these things follow each other, okay? This mental strength, they will get it in a community. Because why? They're not the only ones. This resilience, this tenacity, they will get it in a community. Do you see how it follows each other? That's how it follows each other. So they're not the only ones struggling. They're not the only ones crying. Let me tell you a story from the scriptures. There is one prophet in the Bible. His name is Elijah. And at the point, he thought that, oh, it was only one remaining. Every other person, Jezebel had killed them and all of that. And God said, hey, bros, they're not the only one. But you know what? Imagine if Elijah had a community of prophets like him. Do you think he will feel like I'm the only one going through this? That's what community does. It builds resilience, it builds tenacity. So please, for your teenagers, begin to take it seriously. They're not the only one trying to stay pure. They're not the only one trying to stay clean. They're not the only one. There are other people that are struggling like them. So what do? They hold each other's hands. So it's just because the voices of those ones that are trying like them too is low. And this is the time we have to start, upping the voice. Put them in communities. Put them in mentorship programs. They will see other boys like them that are struggling, that don't want to masturbate like them. They will see. That don't want to watch pornography like them. They will see. They're not the only ones struggling with it. Put the girls in the communities where there are other girls like them are trying to say, okay, I'm going to stay pure for the Lord. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Put them in those communities. Those were the things that we lacked. Yeah. Go back in history and remember. Those were the things that we lacked. And you look at, oh, we made the mistakes that we make. And like I always say, can we bridge the gap? Can we minimize those mistakes? That is what we're having these conversations. They'll get strength. Your team will get resilience, tenacity in that community. All right, let's go on. The principle of impact and influence. This is very, very important. They have to know that life is not just about them. Impact and influence. If there's anything I like to be known for, I like to know that everyone that's ever come across me will say, okay, this is what she did or this is what he did. It doesn't have to be much, but did I make that person better? Or did I make that person bitter? It's a life principle. You have to let your teenagers know these things. There's more to life that I want to ride the big I want to ride the biggest cars. I want to live in the best houses. I want to travel the world. I want to go to Paris. There is more to life. How many people will remember you and smile? I have started having the conversation with my child. So life is beyond the things that the tangible. It extends to the intangible. When people think of you, what comes to their mind? When people think of you, what do they remember? Principle of impact. When you are giving them that consciousness, do you know what they are telling them? You're letting them know that they're not just alive for themselves alone. And that's the best way to live, not to live for oneself alone. That's what you're doing to them. We need more of people like that. People that are thinking of other people. Not people that just want everything they want, just me, just me, just me, just me. Impact and influence. Begin to let them think deliberately, and you can have the conversations with them. They are teenagers, they can understand that. What do you think you want to do to make a difference? What kind of difference do you want to make in the world? Those are the conversations to be having with your teenager. So that you know what? They don't have time for the mindless things that teenagers do. They're thinking impact, they're thinking influence, they're thinking making it, oh God. I was conversing with one of my teen he's now a young adult, he transitioned already. And things he was telling me, even me that I was feeling somehow, I got encouraged from things that he was telling me. That's how to make teens think. Impact, influence. You're not just here for yourself. So it's beyond, he's doing it or he's doing it or. No, if I do this thing that is doing it or is doing it or, if you now do it, what's going to be the consequence? How is it going to impact negatively or positively on other people? These are the conversations you must have with your teenagers. Let them think impact. Let them think influence. They're not too young. They're not too young to impact. They're not too young. Impact, influence, impact, influence. Another principle to teach them. You have to teach them the principle of preservation and reservation. This is very key, especially in these times that we are in. Preservation, self-preservation, high. So you have to let them know that, see, let the whole world, like, let it go crazier than this. Are you aware? I keep telling my teenagers, are you aware that it's not everybody that is succumbing to pressure? It's not everybody. It's not everybody. So if it's just two remaining, do you want to do what you can do to be sure that you're among the two? Preservation, self-preserve. Teach them self-preservation. Don't damage your body. Don't damage your life. Don't damage your mind. Don't damage your mind with wrong stuff. Don't damage your mind with pornography, with masturbation, with whatever it is. Don't damage your mind with addictive games. Don't damage your mind. Don't damage your body with alcohol, with drugs. Don't damage your body with sleeping around. Don't damage anything. Preserve yourself. Self-preserve. Why? Because you're still going somewhere. You're still doing things. Your life is not just about you. It's even selfishness to self-damage. It's something that is my life. It's selfish. Who told you it's your life? And then people they just lie to themselves. It's my life. I can do whatever I like. Who told you that? It's a lie. No, but you don't have the right to do whatever you want to do with your life, because your life is not your own. These are the conversations we must have with our teenagers. The principle of self-preservation. Because see, let me tell you, if you don't do that, if you let them escape from your house, thinking that after all is my life, after all I'm a teenager now, after all I'm a young adult now, the choices that they will make, you will not be proud of it. But let them know. The principle of preservation and reservation is very, very important. So many loose teenagers all around. Make up your mind that my own will not be like that. Take them out. Let them see. If it's possible, take them out in the evening. Let them see what is happening. I used to tell my friend, she's on this stream watching me. Before, when we were young, I don't know, but this is the teenagers, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, all of them at awkward hours, in one funny corner with boys, and you're wondering, where are their parents? Self-preservation. Because they think that, oh, I own myself, I own my life. They don't. God owns them. God, not them. We that were their parent, is God that owns us. And you know what? We're going to give account to him. The principle of self-preservation. Because I do not understand how on earth, okay? My coach and I were talking the other day, and then she said, see, for me, do you know what's happening now? I said, what? She said, and she has a lot of teenagers that she's working with, university and all of that. I said, you know what? Do you know what they do now? I said, please tell me, Auntie Tima, tell me. And then she says, they will now carry themselves. Small girls, 14, 15. And that's another problem. When you send children to the university, that's the way we discuss for another day. 14, 15, 16, 17, they carry themselves like that to parties that they were not invited to. They were not invited. But they add that there's free drink, there's free booze, there's free. And I'm like, where are their parents? What did their parents teach them? And of course, when they are high, when they are drunk, you can imagine the rest. Just imagine the rest that will happen. Self-preservation. Let your daughter know. That's why let her be uncomfortable when she's not properly dressed. It starts from there. Don't be the one to now buy. You say I'm dressing as sexy. I don't understand that language for teenagers. I don't understand. Even for adults, I'm like, sexy for who? I don't understand. You should be sexy for your husband, and that's it. In your bedroom, So do not be the one to now buy all those bomb shorts, all those crop top for them. Say they're teenagers, they're just growing. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Self-preservation. Let them understand that there's something about themselves that they can't just be seen everywhere, in everybody's faces. It is not pride. Self-preservation and reservation. Do you see do you see do you see people who are properly grooming their children? Do you see them everywhere, naked everywhere, just doing anyhow everywhere? And I'm like, what's going on? Teach them. It's a principle because it will help them. So that when they leave your home, at least you can drink Gary and drop cup, the way we say it in Nigeria. Preservation, reservation is very important. Teach them these things. And finally, please teach them. I know, okay, I know that we have had disappointments, we have had this, we have had that. But please, can you teach your teenagers the deliberate belief in the human race? Deliberate, intentional belief in the human race, irrespective of what your experiences have been, irrespective of what has happened, irrespective of what has not happened. Please teach them. Because you know what? Everything that God still will do on this earth, everything that will still be achieved on this earth, God still need humans to achieve it. So let your teenagers believe the good in people. Let it don't maybe because of your experiences. If you must heal from those experiences, please heal from them so that you don't transfer that to your teenagers. Don't say, oh, I was telling your friends, I've never had a friend that I will not say betrayed me. I've never had that experience. Never. I lie not in Christ. I have never. So if you will now betray, that means you were not a friend. But because if you are a friend, you're not gonna betray. So all those things people say, don't trust friend, oh, don't I trust friends. I beg to differ. Because you know what? Friends have been very helpful to me. It's going to be foolish for me to now say, I don't trust people. No. Rather, tell them how to choose their friends. Rather, teach them how to make friends. So don't say to them that, oh, human beings are wicked, human beings are terrible. When you are doing that, you are projecting your own disappointment on them and you're closing their mind. So even when they see a good person and this person is being shoved right in their faces, they're not going to know because their parents had already told them that human beings are bad. Some people are bad, but not everyone is bad. And then who knows the ones that they need to journey through life together. So don't let them leave your home with an open mind. Their hearts, things will happen to them. Their friends will go, things will happen to them. But please, can we not close the minds before they leave our homes yet? Can we let them know? Can we let them believe? I said deliberate belief. See, some of us have been hurt by people that yes, it has happened. Yes, if you can heal, let's heal and move. But that's not now to put everybody in one blanket or busy one umbrella. Because you know why? Things that God will still do, God still needs human to do it. So let's teach them these things. The deliberate belief in the human race. That in as much as we have people that, for lack of knowledge, they just do things, they are still amazing. I'm sure that you, Papa, at least four amazing people that you know. So if all of us don't four like that, come on, then we can't give up entirely on the human race. And you know what you're doing when you're doing this to when you are teaching your teenagers these things, you are teaching them to have the heart of hope and love no matter what. And with that kind of heart, you'll be shocked. The people that will come into their lives are the people that they need for them to walk the walk of destiny together. So their parents, we have talked of 10 principles to talk about. I'm to teach your teens. I'll just run through them again and then, just decide which one of them you want to work with. Don't forget, I keep saying it. If it's just one you want to work with, please don't just hear them and say, oh, what she's saying. I'm sure you see something that you can work with. I talked about principle of knowledge and fear of God, principle of honor, principle of relationship, principle of community, principle of perspective, choices and consequences, resilience and tenacity, impact and influence, preservation and reservation. And don't forget, if you're working with a girl teen, you want to work more on this preservation. Yeah, if your teen is a girl, you need more work on this preservation so that she doesn't get tossed around from boy to boy, God forbid. Preservation. And finally, the law of deliberate belief in the human race. Believe that they are still good people. Believe that, yes, they're still amazing people. I know they say this thing that what you believe happens. So if you believe that there are good, amazing people, definitely we will find good and amazing people. And then, of course, when you have good and amazing people in your life, it makes the journey of your life easier. So don't sell your disappointments, don't sell your heartbreaks, don't sell your experiences, your negative experiences, your teenagers. That's all I am trying to say there. All right, we're calling it a day for today so that I don't exceed the 1 hour. I know you have to get on to other things. But don't forget, I am the lead coach at the Informed and Reformed Teens Academy. We work with teen girls from age 8 to 18. We don't work with boys. We're biased like that. So if you have a boy, please, if you have a girl rather, please look us up on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. We're everywhere. Yes, and it's an online mentoring program for girls. We have a curriculum. Yes, ready made. Yes, we're just waiting for you to bring your kids on board. Yeah, so walk them through that curriculum so that when they are leaving your home or when they are transitioning, they become that adults that you want them to be. My name is Fumilola Akintala Williams, and I'm happy that you have joined me again today. Thank you, Okpara Blessing. Thank you, Salmat Absalam. Thank you, everyone. I think we have people watching. Thank you, everyone that has watched. And of course, you can always catch a replay using this same link. Don't forget, tell a teen parent to tell a teen parent to tell another teen parent. Yeah, that this is what we do. And the fact that you always come here to listen to me, you don't mind that what you're talking about encourages me. Yeah. So despite everything, we still want to come and show up. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. I will not take more than an hour. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Parable says, what the time. Wow, I'm grateful. Thank you so very much. Don't forget, same link will take you back. And then we have other videos. Yes, we've been dropping videos for months now. So there's something always to learn. Thank you for coming. I don't take it for granted. See you and have a good night to rest. Bye.